Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the movie review. And on the last movie review that people have been asking me the most, because they asked me to review 3 films in the past and recently, like Elmo and Grouchland, and then Emperor's New Groove. And the last one that people wanted me to review is DreamWorks animated Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge, which was released in 2006, and a lot of people wanted me to review this one, and I still enjoy Over the Hedge. I still do, and it's another well-made DreamWorks animated film, and now there's other DreamWorks animated films I still like better though, but regardless, I still enjoy the film, and as a very solid cast, ensemble, I should say. That's another term for a long list of good actors, I should say. An ensemble cast. So it stars Bruce Willis as RJ the raccoon, and Garry Shandling, who's now sadly passed away. Very funny comedic guy, and also he appeared in Iron Man 2 as that senator. I forget his name though, and the little cameo appearance of the same guy in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which he was in with Hydra, turns out. And the last role that he did was when he voiced that porcupine in the 2016 live-action remake of The Jungle Book. And Garry Shandling, it's sadly that he's now gone, especially now with the film that was released in 2006, and he's voicing a Vern as the turtle. It's a shame. Funny guy. And then I think he was a longtime friends with Jerry Seinfeld, because I think there was one of the tributes to him, and he was talking with Jerry Seinfeld a lot of times over the years. So I think they were long-term friends, I think. But it sucks, you know. So yeah, Garry Shandling, may rest in peace. And also among the cast, you have Steve Carell as Hammy, this squirrel who's like very hyped up and very hyper. With like he's fast speeding, and he's just extremely hyper. If you give him sugar, he just ooh, so hyped up, it just goes nuts. Say. Wanda Sykes, who plays Stella, who's the skunk. I know she's been in other films, like especially for the voice roles. Like she voiced Granny in Ice Age, the 4th one, and then the 5th one, and then she was also voiced in that I forgot the Shaman Woman in the Brother Bear 2. But in live action films, I also know her from Monster-in-Law. That was a comedy with Jane Fonda and Jennifer Lawrence. She was Jane Fonda's assistant. So she's recognizable name. So she's been in other stuff as well. Eugene Levy. There's a family of porcupines, and Eugene Levy is Lou, who is the father. Catherine O'Hara, who was the Home Alone 1 and 2, played Kevin's mother, and from Beetlejuice, and I forget what other stuff that she was in. I forget though, but that's some of the films I mostly remember her from, and she voices the wife, the porcupine, Penny. So she voices the mother porcupine. And William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, as there's two possums, a father and daughter, and William Shatner is Ozzy the father, and pop singer Avril, her name is Avril Lavigne. I know who she is, but I just can never pronounce her name properly. The song I mostly remember from when she sang that song, "Complicated." You know, tell me why I had to go and make things so complicated. That's the song I mostly remember her. So, but yeah, she voices the daughter Heather Possum. Nick Nolte as Vincent, this black bear. That's what RJ owes this. Because the whole thing is RJ, he wants to, because his raccoon is a scavenger, he wants to steal all the stuff that's from the bear Vincent, and all that stuff gets run over by a bus, and he wants all that stuff back to him by the full moon, otherwise he's gonna go out and get him. So that's Nick Nolte as the bear. And Thomas Hedden Church, who's this exterminator that was hired to get rid of him. So you have all the pretty a good ensemble voice cast, and I enjoy the voice cast. All of them have did a really solid job. And once again, it's well animated. For the use of it was like 80 million, and worldwide over 300 million worldwide. It didn't open number one because it was in competition with Ron Howard's The Da Vinci Code, which was huge that year. But it still made a lot of money, and it was well received by critics as well. It has a 6.8 IMDb and a 75% Rotten Tomatoes, so it's well received, box office wise and critics wise. And I'm surprised they never made a sequel to this. You know, of course there are some DreamWorks animated films that I think don't need sequels. Like, well, that never made sequels to, like this film. Or one of the ones like Shark Tale, or one of the ones around that time. I'm drawing a blank though, but of course you have the Madagascar franchise, Shrek films. Oh yeah, how could I forget one of my favorites best of all of them, Monsters vs. Aliens. That never gets a sequel. I will always keep on bringing that up. I'll always keep on mentioning it, but I can only dream of that now. But I love Monsters vs. Aliens. And of course, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, which I adore so much, love to death. But I'm surprised there was never a mention of a sequel to this. And I know there was the new film, The Boss Baby, came out. That one I'm a little bit skeptical. I just did not think. That seems like one of the weaker ones of the DreamWorks animated films. I know my brother, he hates Home. He hates that film. He thinks it's one of the worst animated films he's ever seen. Especially the character O, you know, voiced by Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory. Hates that character, so he hates that film. So I'm sure he's not gonna like The Boss Baby because he's seen the trailer and he thinks that looks the one he's gonna hate as well. So I'll wait for The Boss Baby to come on DVD, then I'll get my input on it though. But I'm surprised but I know it was number one to beat out Beauty and the Beast. So, but Over the Hedge, I just think this one never got. I can easily see this could have a TV series. You know, the adventures of this whole gang here, but I was saying this looks like one that can have a TV series, Over the Hedge TV series, whatever. But like I started at the beginning, like RJ, Bruce Willis. He's just scavenging for food, like he's trying to get this last bag of chips from this vending machine. Then he sees the cave where he knows this black bear named Vincent. He has a huge pile of everything. He tries to take everything, and then there's also this little container of Spuddies, which is the rip-off version of Pringles, basically. And of course, the thing is, he's trying to be quiet, and even if it makes some noise, doesn't wake it. But when he just a very specific little noise will wake him up. And then the whole thing rolls down the hill, down the road, gets hit by a bus, and he tells him that he'll have by the next full moon, where Vincent's gonna be sleeping until he awakens the full moon, and he has that time, which is like a week, and then he's gonna be out looking for RJ and killing him. So he's just searching until he comes across this family, this group of different animals, led by Vern, the turtle, voiced by Garry Shandling, and there you have the skunk, the porcupine family, the squirrel, the possum family, you know, and so they're all just trying to searching because they're having this little thing where they're trying to salvage food, but they can't find anything because it's the first day of spring, and until they notice there's this large wall here, which they don't know what's called. They don't know what's called. It's the Hedge. It's just long, goes all the way endlessly, which they realize that the forest they know that was once over the other side has been gone because this whole new suburban neighborhood community has been built and now is being occupied by humans. And RJ, comes in and fills them in what all this is about human beings and what did they live for, and especially when they need food, he explains all this about food with the humans. Like how transportation for food or stuff like praying for food, like he calls like worshiping the gods, whatever, because they see a family praying at the dinner table. Among those other stuff for how he's just ways of describing food. And he thinks in RJ he can use them because they're trying to scavenge for food. He can use them to gather all the stuff, the right ones they need to bring back to Vincent, including like the wagon, a cooler, and all this other stuff, including Spuddies, which is the Pringles, basically. You just call them Pringles because it's the same container that looks like Pringles. So. And Vern is not too sure on this because he's always good trusting his instincts, which he says his tail is always cringing, which is something that's not right. And he's always saying this is not sure about RJ and what they're doing because and throughout the whole film he's just trying to you see him trying to do the right scavenge food the right way while they're trying to take all the human food, and just. And then they get spotted by the person who's in charge of this whole homeowner association, who's this president, this woman, and just eventually when they take all her food, she calls in the exterminator, voiced by Thomas Haden Church, sets up all these booby traps to exterminate them, of course, and RJ just. Well, one thing leads to another is that when they lose all the food, and when they lose the food, they blame the group. They blame on Vern because he was trying to return the food back to them, but RJ was trying to stop him. But because they yanked on this chain that was waking this dog, and he's telling him to be quiet. But Vern is still talking, thinking, "Oh, if he's trying to take this food back, I'm still returning it." And then he steps on these squeaky toys, and they get chased by this dog saying "play, play, play," and they break through everyone's backyards. They lose all that stuff. Even one point where they hit this barbecue where the propane tank ignites and lights it like a rocket. They just go shooting up, and they come back down, land on that woman's car, blowing it up. And that's when they place the blame on Ver because he's the one who was trying to return the stuff. So thinking, oh, RJ, he was like the writer and all that. And funny moment where they make him a little thing for RJ, his own chair on TV. And we turn the channels. The channels are telling us what RJ really is. Like, oh, what do you think? We think you were like a dirtbag, and how could you do this to us? Shame on you and all that stuff. And he goes and just walks out, Or another one where I forgot to mention, how he was going to when they first started to get the food from humans, whether it's these Girl Scouts, selling Girl Scout cookies, and he was going to use Hammy, to act like a rabid squirrel, and he's getting whacked, and then Vern, he tries to try to avoid, but he ends up scaring the girls. And of course, this is a nitpick though, but you know, because he's out of his shell, and you see his ass, you know, his bare ass, and just okay, and it zooms in, like okay, we don't need to. I didn't need to see that though. It just you didn't have to show it, but it's implied though. But I didn't really need to see him showing his bare ass, you know. I mean, we're supposed to know what a turtle looks like out of his shell. Just that part, I just didn't think we didn't need to see that though. But that's a nitpick. But regardless, though, the whole scene with how they're trying to get the Girl Scout cookies and Vern's like, RJ's like, oh hey, good job, Vern. And then back to where we were is that Vern was trying to tell him that, you know, he tries to apologize to them, but he's forgiven. So they try to figure out another way to get the food, and avoid the traps, and like he had to grab these pieces because he remembers all this stuff because he carries this the golf club carrier, and like he has all this stuff in there, you know, just like even some things that don't usually doesn't fit in a golf bag, but he keeps all the stuff that's in it besides one golf club. And he has like these pieces from Monopoly, like the battleship, the car, and the iron, the thimble. And it's like, oh, I want to be the car. You know, the kids saying, the porcupine kid saying, oh, I want to be the car. And it's like, and Artie's like, no, it doesn't really matter. Although I'm always the car. So they come up with a plan to shut off all these lasers that the exterminator puts in. Well, then at least another that there's this the human owner's cat. Because they wanted to use Stella to disguise herself as a cat, a black cat, because she's a skunk, to get this collar that's like a key to open up the doggy door. So, and this cat was like kind of talks like with a certain kind of an accent because he says like he's a Persian cat, and then when she finds out she's a skunk, and he takes a liking to her, and they get in the house. They starts taking all the stuff, and then manage to get everything. But when Roger sees the spice, because he really needs it, otherwise, you know, and then he kind of actually admits it when Vern says, "Oh, we don't need. Why are those so important?" And then he admits why about the bear and all that, and the owner comes down, and still, you know, sprays her gas all the house, and as they get out, but they end up getting caught. RJ gets out with the stuff though, but the others get caught by the exterminator, and they're caged in to get ready to drive away in the van. And the exterminator's like, oh, I'll do away with him humanely as possible, and the woman's like, no, you do it as inhumanely as you can. And they finally say what RJ is, and he goes up back the mountain, and where Vincent sees him, you know, because oh, you're gonna be like me now. You're be like me. You just don't care for them. Basically, you're a one-man person. You're like the only family is of one. That's you. And of course, he has a change of. Of course, that's the cliche where he has a change of heart and goes back for them, and he uses the wagon to go back down the hill, and the truck runs the wagon over again, and Vincent's like, no, and then goes after him. And Vern forgives him, but the others don't trust him, because otherwise the thing he pulled until, like, well, how come you trust him? Because my tail is not clinging, it's not tingling anymore. It's like, oh, why didn't you say so? Lets him in. And the three porcupine kids are driving the steering wheel because they learned from a video game, like a driving video game, to go all the way around using the GPS back to the woman's house. And well, at least another is that they flip the house. The car flips over and drives right into the house. And then they're being chased. They're both caught between. They're in the hedge because they're caught between, because Vincent's on one side and the woman and the exterminator are on the other side. So RJ and Vern, they both come up with a bright idea where they give Hammy a can of either like an energy drink or a soda to give him more sugar, to get him more hyped up. And of course, when he drinks it, it kind of pulls like a version like what Quicksilver from the X-Men films does. You know, everything's standing still while he's like walking and all that because he's hyped up. He's like running at the speed of light, basically, like Quicksilver in the X-Men films have. Because everyone's slowly, you know, standing still and all that. Where he sets it all up, and where Vincent and the two humans, they both land on each other, and they triggers up the trap, the laser trap. They both get zapped. Causes like this huge kaboom, which you can be seen from the planet. Well, it creates this light that destroys like a satellite, and leaves this big like hole in the ground. And the bear has like no fur, and the woman lost all of her hair, and she gets arrested because that laser trap was like illegal, so she gets arrested for that because it's in her contract and it's in her name. So, and then the exterminator, he tries to get away, but he gets attacked by the dog that goes, "Play, play." And then the cat that who likes Stella goes along with them. And then they they accept RJ is accepted as part of the family as well. And then all things and Hammy, he stores up because they live in this log where they sleep in and all the food is stored, and Hammy just fills all the way up with nuts. And then the movie ends with the credits. So I still enjoy the film. I just remember, you know, seeing it a long time ago, all the way back in 2006 when I saw this in the theater, actually. And it's another well-made DreamWorks animated film. I still enjoy it. I still like the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, Monsters vs. Aliens, the Kung Fu Panda films over this. I still pick that over that. Maybe I'll say this is better than some of the Shrek. Well, I would say probably Shrek 3 and 4. Better than maybe slightly better than Shark Tale. I would say. Definitely better than Home. I would say. I mean, Home. My brother hates Home, but I still think it's so-so. So I think it's better than Home. I can't say it's better than Boss Baby because I haven't seen it. So, but I'm probably sure it'd be better than Boss Baby. And which is actually, speaking of Home, one of the directors, there are two directors of this film, and one of them is Tim Johnson. We actually go on to direct Home, basically. So yeah, one of the directors of this film Tim Johnson did actually go on to direct Home. And then he also directed the traditional animated DreamWorks animated film, A Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas, and also the first DreamWorks film, Ants, as well. But, yeah. And, I still like the Madagascar franchise over this as well, but, I still like it. Still do. The voice cast, really good job. I enjoy Bruce Willis a lot. Garry Shandling, may rest in peace, solid as Vern. Including, Steve Carell, I thought he was fine as, Hammy. Wanda Sykes, Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, William Shatner, and even Avril Lavigne, I still pronounce her name. Nick Nolte, Thomas Hayden Church as well. Ebert and Roberg, no, Roger Ebert, and forget what was the guy's name, but Rober. They both gave it 2 thumbs up. So this is right here. Entertainment Tonight calls it laugh out loud, funny. It's still funny. I will still say it's still funny. Joel Siegel from Good Morning America. He's been on the DVD covers on some of them. So he calls it a wonderful funny family film. Family film, yeah. I still like. I will agree to that. Features has an inside look on Behind the Hedge. And has a few more, but it has like an insider look though. But I still enjoy Over the Hedge, so hope you're glad that I was able to finally review this film. If anyone, the one people who've been asking me to, so I still enjoy the film. Felt well animated. I still this is fine. If we have with another raccoon character, I still think of right now Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy. But It's fine with another raccoon character. Yeah, I'll still pick Rocket Raccoon over RJ though, but still because Rocket Raccoon he's more of the kick-ass Rocket Raccoon. I mean, while he's just the smart the mind of how to plan stuff like that, I should say. But yeah, I still like the characters, and I'm surprised. I could see this film as a TV series, but they never mentioned a TV series, so that sucks. But hey, the Dragons got a TV series. Same with Penguins in Madagascar, Kung Fu Panda, Monsters vs. Aliens. It only lasted one season. Why? Because they want to focus on more Nickish Nickelodeon shows. Yeah, because Kung Fu Panda and Penguins Madagascar and Dragons, they can get a whole bunch of seasons, but Monsters vs. Aliens, one season. Once again, Monsters vs. Aliens underappreciated. Just one season. Okay, if you want to you don't want to make it anymore, at least make it for a second season at most. Okay, I'll just be perfectly fair. People are not gonna. They were not gonna make any more. Just make it for one more season. That'll be it. I'll be satisfied for 2 seasons, but 1 season, no. Just shows that Monsters vs. Aliens is underappreciated once again. No sequel. One season TV show. Couple of the shorts that I like, especially the Mutant Pumpkins from Outer Space, but yeah, like I said, I could see this as a TV series. Sequel, not too sure, but they never mentioned nothing of both of the sorts, so. But oh well. Sell for this though, but I still enjoy Over the Hedge, so. Hope everyone enjoyed my review for the film. And it's also about it's also a fast-paced anime film. It's only about 83 minutes, an hour 23 minutes, and it's very well paced. So it's well paced, well animated, good voice cast. The humor, this the only nitpick was the turtle showing his ass. That's why I just didn't care for either. And the score was fine too. So, but yeah, definitely worth the pass. I still give it the thumbs up. Now the three films that I review, like Elmo and Grouchland and Emperor's New Groove. Well, definitely Elmo and Grouchland is definitely third, but Emperor's New Groove or this film. Maybe I'll by the slight fraction, maybe I'll pick this over Emperor's New Groove. But I still enjoy Emperor's New Groove. I remember like a lot better than I did. But this film, I still think it's a slight bit above it. So the few people who asked me to review all three of those films, there you have it. So if you enjoyed this, for people who are asking me the most on this one, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie review. And that's pretty much about it. So yeah, there you have it. I could have did this last year for 10 years later, 10th anniversary review, but never came across the mind because I had a lot doing. So, but yeah, so 11 years now, and it's still worth watching. I would recommend it. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.